This is the only roller coaster I've ever ridden where I got off and said that was too much. It was too crazy. And I love hardcore extreme thrill rides. Give me the craziest RMC you have. Those wild new coasters by Intamin, Vekoma, S&S, love them. Give me the best you got. But this spinning coaster right here from 2009 was the wildest experience I have ever had on a roller coaster. I only rode this twice. Once was in regular mode, which is the version that the mass majority of people are going to experience this in. However, there's a version of this ride that you can request when you go to ride it, and that is boost mode. That is what I am referring to here. It is absolutely insane. So I'm going to talk about the big differences between them, which you should do, and just overall what you can expect from the ride. So first things first, this is located at Bakken in Denmark. This is the world's oldest amusement park, but this ride itself is just over 10 years old. And on paper, the stats do not look like much. We're talking about a height of 40 feet. Max speed, 32 miles per hour. That I think I have a problem with. There is no way that the maximum speed on this thing is 32 miles per hour. I don't buy it for a second. Or if it is actually that speed, then this is the fastest 32 miles per hour you will ever experience in your life. This is a fairly compact layout, and it's mostly indoors. It's constantly switching between inside and outside, but most of it takes place in this big, kind of giant warehouse. There's no theming or anything, even though the ride is called Tornado. It's more stylized out front. It's a very attention-grabby look. I do love how they have a giant tornado out front, but you don't really notice any of this during the ride experience. But I will say, this is a very appropriately named roller coaster. In fact, I think this is the only roller coaster named Tornado that actually is worthy of the name. So yeah, looking at you, Tornado, at any other park. But as a result, because most of it's indoors, you can't actually see the majority of the ride from the pathways. All you see is this one little turn in this part where it kind of goes outside the building, and it doesn't look like much. And I had never seen a point of view video of this thing. All I knew was it was the only Intamin spinning roller coaster ever built. But beyond that, I didn't know a thing. I didn't even know what boost mode was. I was just told by a couple locals to ask for it, but I didn't even know what that meant. So automatically, because you are watching this video, you know more about this ride than I did going into it. So what is this ride experience like? First of all, when you enter the queue, you are going to have to pay to experience this, and that's through either having a wristband that is good at all of the attractions, or you can pay per ride. They have a physical machine there right before you get into the station where you can enter some cash. And then when you board the vehicle, this is a moving loading station. Each vehicle seats 4 riders. 2 riders face each other, and you pull down an over-the-shoulder restraint on a spinning coaster. So I was like, okay, that's a little weird. No. This ride needs it. It makes sense that this ride has an over-the-shoulder restraint. It should not operate without one. So on the normal ride experience, you'll turn out of the station and you'll start up this fast chain lift. And what's cool about it is that you start rotating while you're going up this lift hill. Not fast or anything, but in a way, this lift hill feels like a launch. And then you level out and you drop into the rest of the ride. It's a lot of helices, some quick transitions, and it's a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's manageable. This drop after the lift hill is messed up, whether you're in boost mode or not. The biggest difference between the two is in the second half. After the mid-course, you're spinning a lot slower. Overall, it's just a less wild experience, but it's fun. And you know, I think the beauty about it is that this is absolutely a roller coaster that plays up on the weight of the vehicle. Where are the riders seated? So yes, I think that you're gonna spin a different amount every single time, which makes it very rewritable. What is not very rewritable is the coaster on boost mode. So here's what happens if you ask the ride operator when you're getting in the vehicle, can you switch it to boost mode? First, they have to stop the moving loading platform and switch the mode. This changes the speed of the lift and disables the trims. And from my understanding, they only actually do this when it's a little bit quieter at the park. Tornado did not have much of a line at all when we went, so they had no problem doing it. But there's a magnet that's underneath the train that they can turn on or off, so it can really free spin and just go crazy. And then they start manually spinning your vehicle. A dude literally grabs onto your car, gives you a rotation, and when you start up this lift hill, it is sped up. So now you're spinning, going upwards, you level out and you drop into the craziest spinning you will ever experience in your life. You are going way too fast. They tell you to keep your head back, and that's for a reason. This thing can be a neck banger. I think all of us walked off with a headache. Take my word for it, guys. If you're gonna go ride this thing, don't mess around here. keep your head back if you're going to ask for boost mode. If I'm being completely honest, this experience is probably comparable to the sensation you would get if you got hit by the side of a car. The world is spinning around you and is so disorienting, and honestly, it's kind of painful. I don't think this POV does it justice, and this POV, when you're watching it looks pretty insane, but I still don't feel like it accurately reflected how your head feels, your vision of everything. It is just so disorienting. You don't fully comprehend what happens until you're sitting at the brake run. And you're spinning even when you hit the brakes. In the on-ride video, my friend Yannick compares the experience to Ed Janica at Fuji-Q, which in reality is a completely different type of ride, but I understand his comparison because that ride is crazy in the forwards to backwards rotation where this is side to side. I still think overall boost mode is the much more insane experience. Which brings me to, if I went back to Bakken, would I do boost mode again? And honestly, I don't know. This was an experience that after I did it, I was like, I need to sit down, I need some water. It was flat out insane. And normally I love it when rides push me to my limits, but I think this went over my limit. And I truthfully don't think I could say that about any other roller coaster. So if you're looking for a more comfortable experience, but is still insane, just do the regular mode. Honestly, you'll probably get more enjoyment out of it. Boost mode is for the hardcore thrill seekers that want a very memorable experience, but understand you might not enjoy it. For one, I think it depends vastly on how much you enjoy spinning, and then realize that the speed that this vehicle is going to be taking some of these transitions and turns is faster than the coaster was originally designed to go. So there's a reason that they don't normally cycle the ride like that. Which brings me to Tornado's final score. And I'm going to be completely honest, I have no idea what to rate this thing because I'm not even sure I liked it. I think this is a top 5 most memorable experience you could get on a roller coaster because of how messed up it is, but I'm not sure if it's in a good way or not. I am really glad that I got to experience the ride though, not in boost mode, so I could see how the ride was designed to feel. And even when it's not in boost mode, I mean, it's a crazy, extreme spinning coaster. In a way, I'm surprised that Intamin has not built another one of these, but also I get why. And if anything, this makes it a novelty to go out and experience it because it means you have to go to Denmark if you want to ride one. So for this score, let's think about this instead of overall experience. Let's just say the score is based off of how insane it is. In normal mode, it's probably like a 9. You know, it's pretty ridiculous. Boost mode would probably be like a 12 or 13, like something that's like way off the scale. So for that reason, if after hearing this review, if this sounds like a coaster that you would like to experience, then yes, this alone will be a reason for you to go to Bakken, but just realize what you're getting yourself into before you go and ride this thing. I imagine there's a quite amount of people who probably go to ride this that have no idea what they're about to experience. So I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. Have you ridden Tornado at Bakken? Did you have a similar experience to me? Did you ride it in boost mode? Let me know down in the comments below. And of course, stay tuned for more coaster reviews here at Coaster Studios. And I'll see you next time.